What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So there's been a few articles talking about the frustrations amongst consumers when it comes to purchasing the Ryzen Z2 Extreme handhelds. And this is something I've touched on in a few of my news videos and kind of talked about a little bit, but there's a few articles out there about this now, kind of talking about this the past couple of days. So it gives us more of an opportunity to really just kind of focus in on the launch of these three kind of mainstream Z2 Extreme devices and kind of the issues these companies really need to handle when it comes to launching these. But anyways, I want to take a look at this video cards article about this, and we'll talk about the launches of these devices when it comes to the Xbox Ally devices, the Legion Go 2, and that MSI Claw A8 Ryzen Z2 Extreme that, well, very hard to get a hold of as well. So anyways, let's take a look at the article and we'll talk about it. All right, frustration grows over Ryzen Z2 Extreme handheld launches. What's happening with Ryzen Z2 Extreme handhelds? Well, it's a good question. AMD announced its Ryzen Z2 and Z2 Extreme processors earlier this year as the next step for Windows handheld gaming. Several companies rushed to adopt the new chips, but the launch cycle has been far from smooth. Three of the most high-end handhelds, Legion Go 2, MSI Claw A8, and Asus ROG Xbox Ally, are facing complaints from customers before they even hit the shelves. So it looks like they broke this down into the three parts of the devices here. So we'll start at the top where they've got the Legion Go 2 stuff, which of course price has been the big point of contention for this device. I think a lot of people were kind of more expecting it to fall in line with the first Legion Go and be a $700-ish device and be more mainstream, but Lenovo really went the enthusiast way when it comes to their main device, the Go, and it seems like their Go S devices are becoming those less expensive budget devices. However, they weren't really my favorite, and for what they offer for the price still aren't necessarily budget. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at what they're saying here about the Legion Go 2. So Lenovo's Legion Go 2 was one of the first Z2 Extreme handhelds revealed, but the pre-order process, which started this month, has left many buyers disappointed. Shipping windows originally set for mid-September has slipped to late October with little explanation from Lenovo. Now, when they did their announcement, they did announce an October 31st release date. Maybe there were other regions. I know that was for the US. Maybe there were other regions that it was coming sooner or mid-September or whatever the case, and I missed that. But for us here, it's always been October 31st as far as release date. The company's AMA session on Reddit failed to address questions about availability and support, leaving buyers worried about communication and post-launch updates. Notebook Check also reported that Lenovo confirmed no official SteamOS support and dodged questions about delays, while admitting that driver updates should improve Z2 Extreme performance. Pricing has further fueled complaints, with some saying it is too high compared to competing devices. Lenovo has defended its claim by saying it's a premium device, which is what I was talking about in the beginning. They very much have come out and said that the Legion Go 2 is an enthusiast device. It is a more premium enthusiast device that they expect to sell less of to a smaller group of people. That's what they made this thing for, and that's why it's more money. That's why we have the OLED screen and all that, which it's going to be beautiful, but it does make it very expensive. And here in the States at $1,349 plus tax, with everything on this, it's over $1,400 for the 1 terabyte model. So price has definitely been an issue when you're talking about the original Go being $699 for that 512 gigabyte model that I still have here. And I really hailed Lenovo for coming out with a $700 PC handheld that was so capable back then a couple of years ago and really helping build the larger mass market of handhelds. But that's not the direction they're going now with the Go 2, and like I said, it seems like the Go S is more their budget devices, but I want to see some redesign and some working of those if that's going to be the case. As far as pre-orders and the launch of this thing, the only reason I got one is because I received a message from a good friend saying that the pre-orders were about to be sold out at Best Buy, and that if I was really going to do it and get one for the channel, I'd better move. So I got on there, got mine pre-ordered, and I woke up after pre-ordering that night the next morning, and it said coming soon on Best Buy, and I actually couldn't find them in stock anywhere for pre-ordering. So that's got to be pretty frustrating too, and I would assume that there's just not that much stock of the device, because I highly doubt they're selling that many at that price for the Legion Go 2 off the bat. I know the first early adopters, enthusiasts, all them are buying them first, but yeah, for the fact that Best Buy sold out like within 24 hours or less of it going up on the site, I just kind of doubt that there was a lot available, and there's no real information about when there's going to be more. And people are right to question the after launch support, because the original Legion Go, while one of my favorite devices and I still cover it a lot, Lenovo really dropped the ball on a lot of support updates, graphic drivers, and things for that, at least as far as being steady updates for the device. So people are right to be worried about that if you're going to invest in a $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 device. if you're going to get that kind of support. So yeah, the launch around the Legion Go 2, the pricing is a little rough. They went the enthusiast way. People are worried about future updates, and with pre-orders, they're already seemingly gone. So it can be a bit frustrating. All right, the MSI Claw A8 limited launch. Now, I was at first so excited when I saw MSI was going to be dropping a Z2 Extreme version of their 8-inch screen device, like I have the MSI Claw A8 AI Plus, which is the Intel version. So I was really excited to get my hands on this, but like I said, over time that diminished because I haven't been able to get it here. The device has been out for over 2 months now in some regions and still not available here in the US. So I'll definitely be getting the Xbox Ally device. I'm definitely getting the Legion Go 2 as that's pre-ordered. But as far as this MSI device, I just don't know if I'm ever going to wind up having one here. It's a very limited launch, and MSI does this with their devices. They did it with their last Claw device. They did it with the AI Plus. I mean, it's just weird. They don't have a lot of announcements, marketing, and availability is just always really rough. But anyways, MSI has chosen to stick with its confusing launch in marketing communications. Official social media accounts mention firmware updates, while the device is still not on sale in many countries, including the US. MSI has a history of launching Claw systems exclusively in Asia before releasing them later in other regions, but the company has never explained this staggered rollout. And when you're up against competition like Lenovo, Valve, Asus, and all that, Xbox, you really need to do a better job with these launches when it comes to the Claw. And they've just been doing a horrible job ever since the first original Claw with that first gen Core Ultra Intel. The handheld is now listed in Asia and Europe, priced the same as the Lunar Lake model, which still faces availability issues a year after launch. Yeah, it can still be very hard to get hold of that 8 AI Plus. Seems like MSI just wanted to have its first Ryzen Z2 Extreme handheld on the market, but not necessarily available to everyone. So yeah, it's like they rushed to be first to have this thing out, but we're not ready to launch in many regions. And I think the launch of the 8 AI Plus and maybe even their previous Claw was a little better than this. This one's been pretty rough when it comes to the A8 Claw here for the Z2 Extreme. So yeah, I think a lot of people have slowly been losing interest in this device because it's just really not available. And now we have the other two options coming along. But it is a shame because I think this form factor, this 8-inch screen, it falls right in between the 8.8 of the Lenovo and the smaller 7-inch screen of the Xbox Ally that's coming up. So just like my Claw 8 AI Plus, I just think this would have been a nice middle ground device as far as price, screen size, and all of that. But yeah, I wish MSI would get their stuff together when it comes to launching these things. All right, so it looks like video cards had a little trouble here. We got the Asus ROG Xbox Ally and the wrong picture. It'd be very easy to put the right picture here. It's been out for a long time. But anyways, lack of pre-order and pricing information has been something that has definitely been an issue here. The company has confirmed an October 16th launch, but with only a month to go, there's still no official pricing or pre-order date. Leaks suggest prices in the $600 range for the non-extreme model and up to $900 for the extreme. But nothing has been confirmed. Retailers briefly posted early listings before pulling them back. Fans are frustrated that Asus and Microsoft have not provided clearer information, especially as tariffs and regional pricing could further complicate matters. And that has definitely been an issue, tariffs and that type of thing. I believe the Legion Go 2 in the US would have been $1,199 or $1,200 before the additional $150 and like probably tariffs and other things on there. So it's definitely affecting things. And I think Xbox was probably waiting for the Legion Go 2 announcement to see where their prices wound up. But with their Z2 model, which is only $1,099 for the same form factor, but it's Z1 Extreme basically renamed to a Z2 for that model, that really forces I think Xbox and Asus to keep the ROG Xbox Ally X device down closer to that originally rumored $899. So I hope that's what they really wind up at. But at Gamescom is when we were really expecting to get the pre-order and pricing information, and rumors were really leading up to that, and then they just didn't have that bit of information at the end of that whole thing they did for it. So I believe on, what is it, the 25th Tokyo Game Show or something, they do have another big stream thing happening for the Ally devices, and I think that's where we're going to get the pre-order and pricing information. But that puts us getting that only like 3 weeks before launch. So while I think Asus and Xbox have done the better job out of all three of these companies when it comes to marketing and getting the information out there that the devices are coming and trying to kind of hype it up, and of course Xbox has its branding behind it, which is going to have its own base and all of that, None of these companies have done what I would consider a great job with their launches, necessarily pricing for what they're doing here, for me wanting the mainstream market to grow and things like that. It kind of feels like we're still in the wild west of these mainstream company handhelds, MSI, Lenovo, Asus, and all that, and that we're still just kind of stumbling our way along when it comes to these launches and pricing and where they're going to wind up at. And having stumbled launches and having these devices get as expensive as they are, I just don't think helps grow the PC handheld market the way I want to see it grow by the tens of millions, and to really get big. And to do that, we have to fall in that $300 to $600 price range for the mainstream, I think, budget for handhelds, and $600 to $900 for premium. And anything over that is absolutely an enthusiast device that is a smaller market. So I don't want to see too many of these devices going that way, though I do understand why they would do that. And of course, there's going to wind up being different models as we go along to offer different price points, just like Xbox is doing here with this device. But yeah, it's just very interesting right now in the PC handheld space, and I still feel like everyone's really trying to still find their footing and get it figured out and all of that. But these things do get pretty frustrating, especially when you're someone like me who's super into all this, trying to cover it all, get all these things here, test them and stuff. And really, my thing comes that I really want to see this market grow massively over the next couple of years or so. And I hope we can figure that out, or they can figure this out and get these launches better, maybe get price to performance better, and just overall get the whole PC handheld space in a better spot by, say, 2027 to 2030, where it's really growing and becoming something. But anyways, guys, I think I'm just going to leave it there. There's a lot that can be talked about when it comes to this stuff, but when it comes mostly to like these launches, I think that a lot more needs to be done. They weren't great before, and they're not great this time when it comes to launching these things. So hopefully that'll get figured out better in the future, and things will get more clearer for consumers and help to grow the market more. But anyways, as always, thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.